Hi everyone, welcome to another video. I'm going to go drive the Cilgerran route in Cardigan this time. Again, I will drive the alternate version of both of these. So same as my previous videos, I am starting in the test car park. And I'm just going to make my way out of here. And then the way we're going to go today is basically towards Newcastle Lemon initially, so heading Cilgerran way. And then that'll take us over the bridge, which will then swing us round through Cilgerran, and then that'll eventually bring us back to town. So as far as routes go, this is probably your longest route, like time-wise. This will probably take you a good 25-30 minutes. So expect a slightly longer video today. So you're going to probably head left here, unless you do a bit of town driving first. And then we're going to follow signs for Carmarthen initially. So at the roundabout, we're going to go straight ahead, second exit towards Carmarthen. Which obviously if you're going straight ahead on these sort of roundabouts, you use the left lane. Don't signal initially, and then just signal as you come off of it. So looking if it's clear, which it is now. And then as you come off, quick mirror check, signal left. Straight away you're onto the national speed limit. A lot of people miss those signs as you come off the roundabout. So you can put your foot down, build some speed, and really just get going. Sometimes you do turn left up into that business estate, and then usually pull up there. They might set up the sat nav at that point, but depends on your test. And then this is quite a boring road, to be honest. There's not a lot that happens initially. You need to be careful of people pulling out at junctions like this. But you do just follow this road for quite a while. Excuse me. Quite often you're following a sat-nav at this point. And this is normally where you might get a show me question. The examiner might ask you to wash the front windscreen or open your window or something like that on these sort of roads. But they'll always say, when it's safe to do so, can you show me how to whatever. So if you're going around one of these sharp corners, you're not quite happy to do it, give yourself a moment. It doesn't have to be straight away. So it's quite a fast road. It is national speed limit. Depending on the weather on your test day, depends on how quick you're going. Like I'm sort of doing 50, 52 at the moment. We don't need to go much faster than this, but you want to also be careful you don't go too slow, because that's quite a common fault that people get. Also up ahead you will notice two solid white lines in the middle of the road, so you want to be careful of overtaking things here, because obviously you can't overtake over solid white lines. The exception would be stationary vehicles or anything parked, or if you were to overtake a cyclist or something, you can pass them at about 10 miles an hour. You cannot just bomb past them super fast. Then you're coming down into a 40 here, so just careful of your speed. And then as you come into Cilgerran itself, when we get there, it does drop down to a 20, which unfortunately is a very long, boring 20, and it does drag, I'm afraid. But the perks of this test route is, even though it's quite long, it's actually quite straightforward. It's one of the easier test routes I think that you would get, because there's not much to do other than just drive. Coming into a 20 now, so you want to be gently on the brake, looking behind you as you're slowing, change down to second gear ideally, and then make sure you're doing 20. And like I said, this is going to drag. This is a very long 20 mile an hour. You more than likely will get overtaken by someone else, because they don't like going 20, and they do overtake us a lot on this road. But it's your test. Be selfish for 40 minutes. Don't speed just because someone's egging you on and pushing you. We don't want to throw our test for silly reasons like speeding. So I'm barely on the accelerator at this point. I'm just sort of letting the car pull itself down the hill, giving it the odd nudge if I need to speed up a tiny bit, but gravity's doing most of the work for me at this point. And just occasionally checking my mirrors, making sure it's super, super safe. There is a primary school up here as you get a little bit closer, so depending on the time of your test, depends on how busy this can be. There is also a garage, which can be quite busy in and out of, so just be mindful of that when you're passing it. So there is an occasional route that takes you into this left turn here, into this little estate called Mysedary. Basically you just do a loop around in there, potentially a parallel park, but I'll make another video on that when we get to it. So keep an eye on YouTube for that. And then yeah, just be careful as you pass this garage and there's like public toilets here. It can be quite busy sometimes. Not today for me though, it's quite quiet. Cool, so the next thing we're going to have to deal with is we're going to be turning right in a moment to go over the bridge. This bridge is only room for one car at a time, so you do need to look right across the bridge before you even commit to going over it. But at the same time, you also need to be careful of any traffic coming towards you from like Newcastle Emlyn direction. So anywhere from around here, you could probably check your mirrors and signal right to say you want to go over the bridge. We're going to start slowing down. I can already see traffic is built up a little bit here, so I assume that's coming over the bridge. So what you want to do is then hang back here, just to let traffic come over. Looks pretty clear for me to go over the bridge, so I'm just making sure it's safe around the corner, which I can go. And then there's a national speed limit sign right at the start of that bridge, which everyone misses. So once you safely get over this bridge at sort of like 20-ish mile an hour, you are in a national speed limit zone. So you can start putting your foot down. You are on a bit of a back road for a while now. So you just drive to what you can see, look for passing places should you meet anyone like I am here. I can just pass them nice and easily here. And just expect the worst around every corner. So like, exactly like this, like there's a van. So I'm just going to slow down, tuck in, let him pass me. Cheers, mate. Parking centre's going doolally because they thought I was going to park in the hedge, but I didn't. And then shortly you're going to take a right turn. It's quite a sharp right, and it's quite well hidden in the hedge, so it does sneak up on you. But just look for the sign, which is here. It's a little bit wonky at the moment because someone's clearly knocked it. So once you pass that sign, you are then going to check your mirrors and signal right. And then you'll see signs up here on the left for Cilgerran, Cilgerran Castle, which is where we're going. So super slow as you turn into here, making sure you don't cut the corner. And then you can accelerate away again because you're still in the national speed limit. We still haven't seen another sign to tell us otherwise. But again, just drive to what you can see. So obviously I'm coming up to this bit of a blind corner now. So we're just going to slow down a little bit. Anticipate someone coming. And then all good if there isn't. And then this road, there is room for two cars, but it's a bit tight. So if you do happen to meet anyone here, just take it slow as you pass each other. Obviously it depends on how big they are. If you're meeting a tractor and trailer or something, it's going to be quite narrow. And then right at the bottom there, you can see a junction. We're going to be turning right. It's a very closed junction, so you probably will need to stop. Quick mirror check, signal right. Slowing all the way down, back down to second gear at the moment. Still slowing down, probably going to go to first. Good look left and right. And it's pretty clear, so I'm going to go. It is a bit steep uphill, so accelerate a little bit more than you think before you change gear. And then it's still national speed limit because we still haven't seen another sign to tell us otherwise. So always go off the last sign you saw. Very shortly we'll be coming into the village of Cilgerran. So this is where the speed limit is finally going to drop back down to 20. Your hazards are going to multiply because there's going to be suddenly a lot of parked cars. There's like a couple of shops and things, so you just keep it slow. If you meet any pedestrians or anything like this, just slow down a little bit. And then as you come around this corner, that's where your 20 is. So the moment you see this Cilgerran sign, you know you're coming into the village. Start slowing down. There's your 20. Make sure you're doing 20 as you pass that sign. And now just sort of keep your wits about you, because there's going to be a lot more hazards. So sometimes you get streets like this where there's parked cars on both sides of the road. So there's no priority at this point. It's just whoever can tuck in should tuck in. So you just look for gaps if you do need to tuck in. Looks like I'm quite fortunate and there's no one coming. Does seem to be a lorry around the corner. And he seems to be parking, so I'm just going to keep it slow. There is a shop on the corner here that sells like dog food and horse food and stuff. So always be slow around here, because quite often there's a forklift in the road or a lorry like this. So don't be afraid to just sit and wait for a moment if need be. Do you need me to back up, mate? No, cool. Right, and then continuing on nice and slow. Like I said, people do get in the way of the road here because they like to just sit in the middle. So yeah, just keep super slow, keep it like nice and gentle. Look for places to tuck in if it's your right of way, their right of way or anything. It's definitely the trickiest part of this route, is going through this village, because people just sort of park and duck and dive everywhere. A little bit of road works going on at the moment, so just quick mirror check as I go around them. And then this part of Cilgerran up here, there's probably, I call it Cilgerran High Street. I don't really know if it's High Street. This is probably the hardest part, because there will be parked cars absolutely dotted everywhere. On top of everything, this is also a bus route, so there could be a service bus or school buses coming through here, which obviously would make it a bit of a nightmare. So like if you see something like this where people are already committed to coming through, you just slow down, give them time to get back to their side of the road, and then continue on. From this direction, you actually have the main right of way mainly. It does flip occasionally, but... And then sometimes you have a bit like this moment where you got parked cars on either side of the road. So you just keep it slow. Like, an examiner won't fault you for being cautious through this point. Keep leaning out, checking your mirrors as you go around parked vehicles. And then this road sort of follows around to the left. Some people accidentally turn right here because they feel like that's the way the road goes. But you just keep it slow and come around this way. Again, loads of parked cars here, so just keep it slow. You might get someone like the silver car sort of pushing through, so I'm just going to slow down to give him time to tuck in. Just like that. Give a wave, cheers. And then again, we're passing a primary school on the right here, which, again, depending on the time of your test, this could be quite busy with a bunch of parents trying to pick up their kids. You're still in the 20 zone as well, so even if it does open up a little bit like here, please be careful you don't put your foot down too much. It's very easy to get caught speeding because you see the road widen and you think like, oh, I could go a little bit faster now. Quite often they might do an emergency stop along this road, so half expect that. And again, it's still 20. A lot of people get caught out here because it's so wide. They just naturally put their foot down and speed up a little bit. And then you've got another little bridge here. Up ahead, it does have a priority junction on it. And from this direction, you have the priority. So hopefully, anyone coming towards us has the sense to stop. Doesn't mean they will, though. And obviously if you did this route the other way round, then you would have to stop at this little giveaway line here. And then it goes straight from 20 to national speed limit. You can see the signs just up ahead. It's a very, very short bit of national speed limit because not long around the corner it goes back to 20. So as soon as you hit that national, you can put your foot down, build some speed. So I've managed to get up to 4th and I'm doing 45, 46 mile an hour. But knowing the road, I know just around this corner where this lorry is, it changes back to 20. So I'm going to slow back down, keeping an eye behind me. I do have a lorry behind me, which I appreciate you guys can't see on the camera, but I do have a lorry. And they're going to have to squeeze past this other lorry. So it's still 20 from this point. Obviously there's no white road markings on the floor. There is room for 2 cars comfortably, but just be careful that you don't accidentally drift onto the wrong side of the road because there's no markings. And then we're coming up to a junction, which we're going to turn right, which would then take us back towards Cardigan. This is a stop sign, so obviously please come to a complete stop. It's very hard to see the stop sign initially because that white sign gets in the way, and the white lines are ridiculously faded at the time of filming this, so they are very hard to see. And then just stop, have a good look, and if you can make your way out, and now straight away you're onto a 40 mile an hour road, so you can build some speed. Straight away I'm up to 4th at 40 mile an hour already, and then you basically stay on this main road until you get back into Cardigan, and then you'd head back to the test centre. Or like I said, if you hadn't already done your town bit of driving, you do a bit of town driving. More than likely, if you get this route, you quite often do manoeuvre right at the start. So they tend to do a forward or reverse bay park at the start of the test, and then you do this route just because it is a bit time consuming. And then this is a little bit of a windy bit of road, so just take it steady. There is some roadwork shortly. They have been here for years, 4, 5, 6 years. I don't even know at this point. So yeah, at the time of filming this, they might still be here by the time you watch this video. There's a sign for them. Maybe Cardigan might eventually fix this road, but yeah, don't get your hopes up. So 200 odd yards to the roadworks. Start slowing down gradually. I am super jammy, and by the looks of it I've got a green light, so I'm just going to slow down just in case it changes, but I think I'm going to be alright and I can just nip through. And then the next thing you have is one of the top roundabouts. From here, I'm going to go straight ahead, second exit, back towards Cardigan. So if you're looking at this sign, you've got Cardigan and St. Dogmall's. So because it's straight ahead, I am going to take the left lane, which actually, by the looks of it, I have to use the left lane because there's some roadworks going on. So even if I was turning right, I would have to be using the left lane at the moment because we've got some cones. Looks pretty good, I can go. And then as you come off a roundabout, quick mirror check, signal left. And then we're coming back into a 30. And then as we get closer, you are coming further into town. So your hazards again are going to multiply. There's going to be more pedestrians, more cars, more cyclists. So you just keep slow. Bit of common sense. Think about it. If you're in a town, there's going to be more things. So you go slower. There is a 20 sign here that everyone misses. The one on the right is completely hidden under the tree. Luckily, you can see the one on the left very easily. But just be careful, because it's such a steep downhill, you might accidentally do a little bit more than 20 here. So just be heavy on your brake. Then we're going to go over the bridge that's in town. There is room for 2 cars on this bridge, but it is tight. If there's anything big coming over the bridge, we're not going to fit. So you want to look and make sure there's no bus or lorry coming, which I've only got an Audi coming towards me, so I can definitely fit with that. And then because of the one-way system in Cardigan, you must go left here, so please don't suddenly turn right as you come over this bridge. And then just keep it slow as you go through the high street. Like I said, there will be more pedestrians, potentially cars parallel parking like this, where you might have to stop briefly. Make it easy for yourself. If you can get away without stopping, then great, but also don't be afraid to stop if you do. And if you need to change gear like I am on this hill, overdo the revs a little bit. Just a smidgen, just so it compensates for the hill. And then just, yeah, scan everyone as you're going through the high street. Expect someone to walk out in front of you. Or a car door to suddenly fly open, or anything, to be honest. Cool. It's actually quite a busy town this morning. And then coming to a stop. Remember, tyres and tarmac. We don't want to get too close to the car in front of us. And then as you move off, quick wing mirror check. Make sure there's no cyclists or anything next to you. Unfortunately, did not get that far. People do just like to walk out in front of us. Just got to keep your wits about you. Cool, and then up ahead the road splits into 2 lanes. If the examiner doesn't say anything, you always drift back to the left lane. So as you drift back over, you check your left mirror. Don't need to signal, you just come back over to the left. It's a green light, I don't know why we're stopped. Because this guy now wants to change lane last minute. And then we're going to turn right back towards the test centre. So carefully don't cut the corner here, you don't want to finish your test by failing by cutting the corner or anything. And then you're going to make your way back to the car park you started from, and then you would finish by parking up into one of the test bays. And that's pretty much this route. So I'll film the alternate version of this, so it's the other way around. But like I said, it's probably one of your easier routes. It's just long. It's definitely the most time consuming route. Plus you'll have to do a manoeuvre somewhere, plus you show me time questions, so it adds up. It quite quickly becomes your 40 minutes. So, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you have not already. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. And yeah, let me know what sort of other content you'd like to see. I've got a lot in the pipeline. I've got manoeuvre videos coming soon. And stuff like that. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Take care.